Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I have the update for my Panna palette. So this year I've taken inspiration from Laura Force. I have her linked down below in my description box. She did a Panna palette last year with Colourpop shadows that she put in a palette, and she would rotate through some. Sometimes the goal was to hit pan, sometimes the goal was to finish the shadow. I don't know, it was kind of like a rolling Panna palette, but not quite, because it was all Colourpop, and it was like a cute self-made palette, if you will. I'm so bad at explaining this. I would just suggest you go check her out and check her channel to see what she did last year with her Panna palette. But oh well. I started the year with a 12 pan Colourpop palette, so I've taken all of my Colourpop shadows out of all their palettes and I've decluttered quite a few. I now have a nice collection of Colourpop shadows, and I put 12 in a palette, and just throughout using it I realized that there were some shadows that I wasn't really using, so I give myself the option to rotate through shadows, to take some out of the palette if I don't use them, if I don't like them anymore, or whatever the case may be. So now we are stuck with a 9-pan palette. Did I change that last time? I'm not even sure anymore when I went from a 12 pan to a 9-pan. It's whatever. I'm going to show you my palette and we're just going to see what has happened to my shadows and how many times I managed to use them. That was an incredibly long intro for not really saying a whole lot. So I will show you what my palette looked like last month. And then here it is today. I'm honestly gonna have to check back on my own footage to see what my palette looked like last month, because I'm not really sure what has happened. Alright, so I've checked. Last month we downsized to the 9-pan, and I managed to hit 2 extra pans this month. So there is now a pan in this shadow right here, which is called 𝓮𝓼𝓮𝓮. And there's one in the one that we added last month. This is the shade Wavelength. So I have 2 new pans in this palette. I'm gonna go over all of the uses that I did on all these shadows and possibly share some changes. Don't get too excited and don't get too scared that this is gonna change a whole lot, because I just want to add. Okay, but first the uses. So here we have the shadow Lace Up. This is original from the 𝓮𝓪𝓬𝓮 palette. I have used that 7 times. You can see I'm pretty much hitting the side pan right now. There's like a little bit left before I hit side pan. This one is very crumbly, like it falls everywhere. So 7 uses to expand this pan this much is crazy, whereas the shade next to it I've been using so much and it barely is expanding, it's going slow. So this is a very crumbly one. 7 uses for this. Then here we have Bare to Wear from the Nude Mood palette. This I've used 8 times. Next to that is Moody, that is also from the Nude Mood palette, and I've used that 5 times. So we're slowly growing the pan. Then here we have the shade Dandy from the Honey palette. I've used that 4 times. Next to that is the shade 𝓮𝓼𝓮𝓮, also from the Honey palette. I've used that 6 times and I managed to hit pan, which I'm very happy about. And then here is the shade Topanga Boulevard, and I've used that 5 times. I don't know if the pan has grown that much, but 5 uses is more than nothing. Then here we have the shade Hotness. I believe this comes from the Lush Life palette. By the way, Topanga Boulevard is also from the So Very Lovely. So Hotness from the Lush Life palette, I've used that 3 times. Then this is Meadow from the, what is that palette called? Maybe also the So Very Lovely, or that other one, the Oh So Sweet. Maybe that's that one. I've used this 4 times. And then this is the shade Wavelength. I believe this comes from the Garden Variety palette. And I used this 17 times, which is crazy. But I managed to hit pan, as you can see. So this rolling in last month was pretty much untouched. So I'm very happy that I managed to hit pan already. It is an easy shadow, so I just pop it in my inner corner. But I'm very happy to have that pan here. And I'm also very happy to hit pan on that Totally Buggin' shade. I love that yellow, but it has taken me a long time to hit pan on it finally. So I'm happy to see that pan. So there's that for the Colourpop shadows. Now the thing is, I rolled in a little quad into my Alice in Wonderland project. If you have seen that update, I have this Viseart quad. There's 4 shadows in there. I dropped it, or I left it out on the table. My cat played with it and shoved it off the table. And my favorite shade, the shimmer, broke. It shattered. I pressed it back I pressed it back down into the pan, but it just stays very crumbly. And every time I open that quad, I lose product, or like it's falling out because it's just loose there. And I don't want to add alcohol because I'm too scared it's gonna really mess up the formula. So I have it here. This is the quad. And the thing is, it opens like this. So it's hard to show you because I have to keep it this way up because otherwise everything falls out. But you open it this way. So you can see, this is so annoying because that shadow is broken. And if I store this any different way than this way, I lose product. And also when I open it, I have to open it like this because I don't want to lose more product. It's already, like, I've stored it like this the entire time, and I can already see here still there's like shadow that has fallen out. So this is what it looks like. I have pan in all the shadows except for this one. I pressed it back down. I had a pan in there. So in my Alice in Wonderland project, I wanted to use this as much as I could, especially that shimmer, to hopefully stop the crumbliness of it. But I've already noticed that I think it's just broken throughout, because every time I dip my brush into it, it keeps crumbling. And I don't think there's gonna be a point where I've used enough for it to not crumble. I think it will just forever crumble. So I'm thinking adding this into the mix of my Panda palette project. Now I obviously cannot put it in that palette that we have. I kind of want to take it out of here because of this packaging, because if I keep it like this and open it, more is gonna fall out. So it's getting annoying, it's getting on my nerves. So I was thinking of taking out those 9 pans, put them in just a blank palette so that these can also be put in there. Is that an idea? Could we do that? So I brought this empty palette here. This one is from Glam Shop. I'm hoping they will all fit in here, but let's see. Okay, doesn't quite fit the way I had hoped. Like I was hoping I could just put 4 of them, of the square pans in a row, but I couldn't. So this is what I've come up with. It just ever so slightly doesn't fit in between here, but oh well. Okay, I'm already losing some shimmer. So I put them here. So these are the Viseart ones. Sort of put them in an order that I think is logical. Like this is Not quite a lit setting shade for me yet. In summer it is, but right now it's a little bit too dark, so I guess crease color and then another crease color. These two are fairly similar, but this one is a little bit more orange toned and this is more of a neutral, so I'm gonna keep them both in and see what happens. Same goes for this shadow and that one. I'm not really sure if I should keep both of them in here, but for now I will. This is a true matte and this one is more of a sort of satin, and then there's the shimmer. So I'm hoping in this palette I will get some more use, and also I will have a little less trouble with this shadow just breaking. Who knows? I don't know. So instead of it just being Colourpop, we have now added to the mix. Again, I don't know, well, again, I haven't talked about this in this video. I don't know what my goal will be for all of these shadows. I still think that I could finish this one up. I like to add this one to the mix to finish up because nobody likes a crumbly eyeshadow. Let's be real there. If it's gonna break in the packaging, I'd rather just use all of it on my eyes and call it a day. And other than that, well, the crease shades, also this one and that one, I feel like I could have a shot at finishing at least one, but who knows, maybe I'm really not gonna be able to, who knows. Yeah, so there's that. I'm sorry if this was a little bit rambly. I literally do not know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in one of my next videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.